Welcome back. So in part one, we really got into this whole world of AI scams. And honestly, it's pretty disturbing, right?
Yeah, it's definitely eye-opening for sure.
Totally. We talked about how AI can be used to make those super convincing phishing emails, impersonate family members using voice cloning,
Yeah.
even like create fake charities. It's like they're using AI to take advantage of our trust and emotions.
Exactly. And unfortunately, it doesn't end there. Scammers are always finding new ways to use technology, and AI is giving them a whole bunch of new tricks.
Okay, now I'm getting nervous. What else is out there? What other sneaky things are they doing?
Well, one area where AI is having a big impact is with chatbots. You know, those automated chat things you see on websites?
Oh yeah, I use this all the time for customer service.
Right. And while most of them are legit and helpful, scammers are now using AI-powered chatbots to actually talk to potential victims.
Wait, so instead of just getting an email, I could end up having a whole conversation with the chatbot that's trying to scam me.
Exactly.
Yeah.
These AI chatbots can answer your questions, they give you what seems like helpful information, and they can even copy human emotions to gain your trust.
So how do we know if we're talking to a real person or a scammer bot? I mean, sometimes it's hard enough to tell with real people.
Yeah, it's definitely getting trickier. One thing to remember is that real chatbots are usually pretty limited. They're made to answer specific questions or help with certain things. If a chatbot starts asking personal questions, especially about money, that's a huge red flag.
Okay, so watch out if they get too nosy. What else?
Also, think about where you are. If you're on your bank's website, it makes sense for a chatbot to ask about your account. But if you're on social media and some random chatbot messages you asking for personal stuff, that's super suspicious.
Right, it's all about context. Trust your gut if something feels wrong.
Exactly. And here's where it gets even more complicated.
Yeah.
As AI keeps evolving, we're probably going to see these things called hybrid scams. They combine different techniques, which makes them even harder to spot.
Hybrid scams? That sounds intense. Like,
Okay, imagine you get an email that looks like it's from your bank. It says there's suspicious activity and you need to verify your info. You click the link, but instead of going to the bank's website, you're talking to an AI chatbot.
oh, so it starts with phishing, but then turns into a chatbot. That's sneaky.
Very sneaky. The chatbot might ask you some security questions that seem real to make you think you're in the right place, but then it slowly starts asking for more personal stuff like your social security number or your mom's maiden name.
Wow, so it's like a multi-level attack using different tricks to get past our defenses. It feels like we're always trying to catch up.
In a way, yeah. But the good news is we can stay ahead of them by learning their tactics and coming up with strategies to counter them.
Okay, I'm ready for a game plan. What are the strategies?
One of the most important things is to stay informed. Keep up with the news about AI, especially stuff about cybersecurity. The more you know about how AI is used, both the good and the bad, the better you'll be at spotting those threats.
Right. So it's not about being afraid of AI, it's about understanding it. Knowledge is power.
Exactly. And that knowledge will help you be more skeptical. Don't just believe everything you see. If an email, a phone call, a chatbot, or even a social media post feels off to it, trust your instincts.
It's like they say, trust but verify.
Exactly. When it comes to your personal info and your money, it's always better to be safe. Don't be afraid to ask questions, do your research, and even just walk away if something doesn't feel right.
So it's not just about knowing the specific scams, it's about thinking critically and being aware.
You got it. And that's super important as AI gets more advanced and becomes a bigger part of our lives.
Yeah.
We need to be able to think critically about the information we see, whether it comes from a person or a machine.
Okay, so we need to stay informed, be skeptical, trust our gut. Anything else we can do?
This might sound weird, but one of the best ways to protect yourself from AI scams is to actually learn more about AI itself.
Wait, you're saying to beat the AI scammers, we need to become AI experts ourselves?
Kind of. The more you understand how AI works, what it can do and what it can't do, the better you'll be at seeing those red flags.
So like if I know that AI voice cloning needs a certain amount of audio, I might be suspicious of a call from someone if I know they haven't shared much of their voice online.
Exactly. By understanding the tech behind it, you can start to see those inconsistencies that tell you it's a scam.
So it's not about being scared of AI, it's about using knowledge to fight back against those who use it for bad stuff.
Exactly. And there are so many resources to help you learn about AI online courses, articles, documentaries. There's tons of information out there.
That's good to know. It feels like we can actually do something. We can empower ourselves with knowledge to fight back.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And as AI keeps getting better, our understanding of its potential for good and bad will too. The key is to stay curious, stay informed, and stay ahead of the curve.
Okay, I'm feeling a bit more confident now. But before we move on, I want to go back to something you mentioned earlier about how emotions play a role in these scams. You said scammers use our fears and our desire to help.
That's right. Emotions are powerful. Scammers know this, and they use our emotions against us. They might make you feel like you have to act now without thinking, or they might make you feel guilty, so you donate to a fake charity.
So how do we protect ourselves from that?
One way is to develop a habit of pausing and thinking. Whenever you're in a situation that makes you feel a strong emotion, like fear, anger, excitement, or even just a strong desire to help, take a second to step back and really look at the situation.
So don't let your emotions control you.
Exactly. Ask yourself, what are the facts? What's the evidence? Is there anything that seems weird or doesn't make sense?
And if something feels off, trust your gut.
Always trust your gut. It's your best defense against scams and manipulation.
Okay, that makes sense. So it's about combining knowledge with emotional intelligence, knowing the facts about the scams, but also knowing how our emotions can be used against us.
You got it. It's a whole-person approach to staying safe online.
Well, this has definitely given me a lot to think about, and I'm sure our listeners are feeling the same. Before we wrap up part 2, anything else you want to emphasize?
I think the main thing is that AI scams are a real threat, but we're not helpless. By staying informed, being skeptical, and trusting our gut, we can protect ourselves and our families.
Those are important things to remember. Okay, that's it for part 2 of our deep dive into AI scams. We'll be back in part 3 to look at some more resources and tools to help you stay safe online. See you soon.